Hi guys, I'm back with a tutorial for this soft metallic spring look, so if you're interested, please stay tuned. I'm starting this tutorial with a highlight and contour actually, so I'm going in with an LA Pro concealer in medium beige and I'm putting it in all my highlight areas. Then using this MAC Pro blender, I'm going in and just kind of blending everything out. I like to use my Pro blender damp so that the product is not absorbed into the sponge, but it is beautifully blended across my face. After I've blended out the concealer, I go in with Beige banana powder and I use that to bake and set everything. Now, I was not a big baker, but after I tried it, I fell in love with it, so I'm baking from now on. So in order to get my beautiful transition color, I'm using this peachy colored blush from a blush palette that I got a while ago, and I'm just putting that in right above, or excuse me, right underneath my eyebrow bone. Next, I'm using this medium brown color and I'm blending that into my eyes using a fluffy brush, and the shape I'm going for is darker on the inner corners and darker on the outer corners with just a little bit of space left in the middle to apply that pop of metallic that you've seen in the beginning. Now just going in with a clean blending brush and going in and blending everything out so I have a smooth transition. Now using this metallic champagne pink, I'm popping that right in the center of the lid where I left that space. This just gives you a nice kind of pop in the center of the lid so that you don't have shimmer all over the eyes. I'll do a video talking about how to use shimmer eyeshadow properly. I applied my lashes off camera and I finished off the look by using a flesh tone color eyeliner in the waterline to make my eyes appear just a little bit bigger. To finish off the completed eye, I just went in with a little bit of mascara on the top and the bottom lashes. Once the eyes were done, I went in and just swept away some of that powder so that I would have a nice finished look and so that the powder would not be apparent. As you can see, I have a really smooth finish to my face after using that powder. I'm absolutely in love with baking. Now using a darker LA Girl concealer, I'm just going in and applying my contour in the areas where I want to be contoured. So right underneath the cheekbone, right in the forehead, and along the jawline is where I like to apply my contour. To blend out the contour, I'm just using a really dense brush and I'm using the upward motion to blend the contour into the highlight. And then I'm just going in all over and blending that contour up into the highlight and back and forth just to get rid of those harsh lines. Once I'm finished blending, I went into the forehead and attempted to blend out all of that concealer. I put a little bit more on my forehead than I usually would. So in order to fix that, I took my Pro blender on the side that I set the highlight with the banana powder and I just blended that upwards into the contour. That way I got a nice gradient effect instead of having that big splotch of contour. For the sides of my nose, I used a blending brush. This is like a 224 from MAC. If you have something similar, that works well. It gives you a really nice controlled contour to the nose. And then I went right down the center of my nose with just a tiny bit of that LA Girl concealer just to pop that highlight a little bit more. And I'm just using my finger in a very small amount of that concealer and then going back in with my contour color once again. And as you can see, I have a beautifully contoured nose. So in order to better blend out my contour, I took a darker powder. This one is Studio Fix powder in C8. And I went in and I just kind of redefined my contour. I'm going to have all of the names of the products used in this tutorial listed below. Just going in and further blending out that contour in the forehead, underneath the cheeks, and the jawline. And then going back in to balance everything using my Pro blender with the side that I used to set that highlight with the Beige powder. Now I'm using a MAC Mineral Skinfinish to kind of warm everything back up. I use a lot of cool colors to contour because I do have a very cool skin tone, so I do like to use a bronzer to go in and warm everything right back up. Now for my blush, I use this kind of rosy shade and I apply just a little bit to the areas between the contour and the highlight and kind of to the backs of the apples of my cheek. That way I have a nice gradient blush without being too heavy. To finish off this look, I used MAC's All Fired Up Retro Matte Lipstick. This is like my favorite shade for the spring. It's a really nice mix between a pink and a red. So that's what I used on my lips. No lip liner. Then I gave myself a nice spray down with some Fix Plus so that everything binded together, and I got that really fresh, dewy look to my face without being too greasy. And then just using the brush that I used for the bronzer, I'm going in and tapping everything out. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And if you're not following me on my other social media sites, make sure that you follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook. I'll see you in the next video.